I'm from Seattle. It was a losing franchise. We were known for the Kingdome and really loud fans. We were a losing franchise. We had been fun. We were interesting. Our fans were crazy. We played in a weird Kingdome. And then Russell Wilson showed up, and the Seahawks are a perennial Super Bowl contender. Last year, Seattle's disappointed the way the season went. They were 12-4. and Seattle is like, now, Russell Wilson's like, hey, we need to get better. That's called standards. Russell Wilson has standards. Aaron Rodgers has standards. Deshaun Watson has standards. I mean, Ron Wolf, I know he's a legend, but he needs to join the Just Stop Talking Club. He left the NFL 20 years ago. It was different. 20 years ago, look it up. It's called Google. You could literally have an average quarterback, your best player be a running back, have a good defense, and make Super Bowls. That 25 years ago, that happened a lot. Like you really didn't throw the ball much. And then everything changed. Safety rules changed. You couldn't hit the quarterback. You can't hit wide receivers. You used to be able to grab a wide receiver when the ball was hiked, shake him, throw him, toss him, ride him down the field. And then if he caught it, go high, knock him out. You can't do any of it. You can't hit the quarterback. Good God, if you accidentally are pushed into a quarterback's knees as a defensive lineman, penalty. You can't hit anybody. You can be thrown out of games. At college, you are. You can't grab wide receivers now. I mean, the league, all the rules are for offense. All of them. What's that mean? It means when the greatest coach in the history of the game, Bill Belichick, loses Brady, he can't even have a winning record in the AFC East. Forget the AFC West, the NFC West. Patriots had a losing record in the AFC East. It means that Patrick Mahomes now is worth $45 million a season. And we're calling that a team-friendly deal. The Mahomes deal is like, whew, the Chiefs got off easy on that one. How much are they paying him? More than LeBron. The world's changed. Because the NFL's never been safer. Honest to God, it's amazing how often you get to a Super Bowl. In the last 6 or 7 teams, only one will have injuries. I mean, if you take out the Chiefs' left tackle last year in the playoffs, I mean, Tampa Bay was completely healthy. That's why they're adding games. You don't hit at practice anymore. You can't hit receivers. You can't go high on tight ends. You can't hit quarterbacks. I mean, they're going to eliminate eventually either the punt return or the kick return. So the bottom line is the league is all offense. The quarterbacks are everything. I mean, last year I picked all 7 AFC playoff teams. I went 7 for 7. Why? Let's look at the quarterbacks. I mean, you start looking around, you're like, okay. I mean, don't have one. Totally limited. That's why teams now will draft a quarterback and the very next year will draft another. Josh Rosen, well, we gave you 4 starts. Boom, we're off. Trubisky, 3rd year, yeah, we're done with you. But I made the playoffs twice. Boom, out. That's the league. So Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson are not divas. They're all-time great talents who are simply seeking competency. This is the downside to being great. LeBron James has never asked other players to be as good as him. LeBron James left Miami when D-Wade got old. They're still friends. He left Cleveland because they were incompetent. He got rid of first-year and second-year players in Los Angeles because he wanted them to be good. I went to Laker games when they had Lonzo Ball and all the Brandon Ingram. And you'd go to a Laker game in the first quarter. LeBron James would ease himself into the games and he would pass, crossing his fingers that he didn't have to every night lead the team. But invariably, none of those guys were ready to play, couldn't hit shots, would miss dunks, and LeBron would have to take over and carry the team. He didn't want to get rid of those players. LeBron didn't want to get rid of Lonzo Ball. He gave Lonzo Ball every opportunity. Kyle Kuzma. He was begging for them to be better than they were. Brandon Ingram. In the end, the downside to stardom, Aaron, Russell, Deshaun. These guys aren't demanding everybody be as good as them. I don't know, Aaron's just asking, could you give me a heads up on my quarterback coach? Could you give me a heads up if you're going to draft my replacement? It's called respect, not diva. So yesterday on social media, LeBron is sort of prone to do this. But, listen, generationally, I talk about this on the air once, not very often. But, the phone and how much you use it in social media, anybody under, like 35, 36, that's what you grow up with. I like to watch games and not be on my phone. I like to just watch games, open a cold beer, sit with my dog, have the channel flipper. I don't want my phone. But if you're young, you grow up and you're on your phone as you watch games. It's just I didn't grow up with phones. I get them, but I didn't grow up with them. And so outside of NFL Sunday, I mostly don't have my phone with me when I watch games. I just want to watch games. So LeBron often goes to social media because that's the generation he grew up with. He's got his phone all the time. That's how people communicate. So yesterday, a stat came out where LeBron has the most 25-point per game seasons in NBA history, mostly by a long shot over everybody else. Jordan's got 12. LeBron's got 17. And then LeBron went to, his Twitter account and said, yeah, since I was 19 years old, and I'm a pass first guy, always been. That's why I'm never mentioned with the greats of scoring, huh? That's perfect because I'd rather keep it that way. People are like, come on, LeBron's a little petty. That's just he's on the social media every day. That's how he communicates. But LeBron is right now, I think, third all-time leading scorer. And we don't mention him as a passer. In fact, I've said this before. My favorite LeBron James stat in the history of his game is not an NBA stat. And we know he didn't play in college. It's a high school stat. It's my favorite stat by far. LeBron averaged 28 points a game as a junior in high school. And just one bucket more as a senior, 30. He could have scored 50 a game in high school. He basically had the same average. Why? Because LeBron's always been about his teammates. LeBron's always made the right basketball decision. What does the team need now? And this is one of the things that's really unique about LeBron. I've always called him the greatest Swiss Army knife in basketball history. He does everything well. Even the other all-time great athletes, they knew what they did well and they leaned into it. Michael Jordan and Kobe were aggressive scorers. Neither was really an assist guy. Neither led the league in assists. Neither was a rebound guy. They scored. That's what they did. They leaned into it. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, pre-snap geniuses. Neither are great athletes. Neither are running around, but both, before the ball snapped, probably as good as we've ever seen. And they just leaned into it. More film. More. Tony Gwynn, best pure baseball hitter I've ever seen. I didn't grow up with Ted Williams. Tony Gwynn, I'm not a home run guy. I'm a base knock guy. So he hit for average. If LeBron was a baseball player, he would be what he is as a basketball player. He could lead baseball in batting average. He could lead it in on-base percentage. He could lead it in home runs. But he'd do a little of everything. What do you need in the moment? That's LeBron. LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain are the only two basketball players in my life who could lead the NBA in any category, but they've had to make a choice. LeBron last year led the league in assists. LeBron now has the most 25-point average seasons. For years, he was the best on-ball defender. He literally could guard any position. I still go back to the Chicago playoff series when he was a Cav where he said, I'm going to guard Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was MVP. Totally shut him down. Little tiny Derrick Rose. Little pew. That's like asking an 18-wheeler to stop a Fiat. Like, take him out of the game. He's the best leader. LeBron, but Wilt was the same way. Wilt's like, I'm going to lead the league in rebounding. Don't tell me about Bill Russell. I'm going to lead the league in assists. Wilt Chamberlain once led the NBA in minutes, and he averaged more minutes than there were per game. What? Because he played overtime. Because he heard Wilt, you don't play that hard. Wilt's like, I'm going to lead the league in minutes and assists and scoring and rebound. If you count playoffs, LeBron all time in basketball is second in points, fourth in assists, 8 in steals, 31st in rebounds. And the only reason he's not top 10 in rebounds, because he could be, is because you don't want LeBron rebounding because you want him on the fast break because he's a freight train. So LeBron very early in his career figured out, I can score so quickly and beat all the guys guarding me down the floor. I don't want to be grabbing a rebound and have to weave my way through traffic. I'm just taking off, get me the ball, and I'll score. So everybody else, even the stars, know what they're good at. They lean into it. LeBron doesn't. LeBron has to make a choice. What matters this year, this moment, this set, this series, this possession? What does my team need now? Okay, I'll be the best in the world at that now. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.